is Valley News Live at 10.
Just like the old saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover, especially not now. Deer Creek Elementary, technically in Fargo, but serving West Fargo School District, is slated to open this school year. Construction continues with school right around the corner.
Valley News Team's Katie Opperly did some digging on how things are progressing. She joins us live now from Deer Creek Elementary with the latest. Katie?
Mike, Andrea, it won't be long before it's kids coming through these doors instead of construction workers. The first day of school is set for August 27th. I spoke to one mom earlier today who says she just hopes that all this construction is finished before the first day of school. Melissa Erickson's daughter will be headed to Deer Creek Elementary for 5th grade this fall. They say they're excited to begin at a brand new school just a few blocks away from their front door.
We're excited. We actually just moved in last year, so it's nice that it's going to be so close that it'll be within walking distance when it's nice.
Erickson says as she walks by the school, the piles of dirt and the scurry of workers makes her wonder if it'll be done in time.
So sometimes we wonder how they're going to make it all come together, but that's how they usually do. There'll be a nice final push, I'm sure, and it'll be ready to go when school opens.
West Fargo Public Schools says that everything is moving along, with security cameras being put in this week and furniture expected to be arriving next week. We're told landscaping is the only thing that has the potential to drag into the fall. And other than that, Deer Creek Elementary will be up and ready to go. In West Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
The clock will be ticking louder and louder for crews. We're told teachers and other staff are scheduled to be in by mid-August. Back to school night is slated for August 22nd. For more information, we have the school calendar linked to our website, valleynewslive.com.
No charges will be filed against U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley in a recent crash involving a car he was driving and another car driven by a Moorhead woman.
New information released today indicates that the case is closed. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard has details, including what Drew Wrigley told her. Callie?
Mike, Andrea, last week I told you about comments made by Brittany Berger of Moorhead, who took to Facebook and accused Wrigley of hit and run. The crash happened on July 18th in downtown Fargo along 1st Avenue North and University Drive. On Facebook, Berger says when the two spoke that night after the crash, Wrigley refused every attempt she made to get proper authority involved and that he left. Later, she would say that it was a case of hit and run. For his part, Wrigley denied the accusation and said the two exchanged information, agreed that the damage didn't warrant police involvement, and then he left. Today, Fargo police said the investigation is over and they found no wrongdoing on the part of Drew Wrigley. I spoke with him tonight, and although he didn't want to go on camera, he said what's true today was true from the very beginning. There was a small fender bender. We both pulled over immediately. We had a somewhat lengthy conversation. Both took a look at the dents in our respective vehicles. We exchanged contact information, made sure that we could reach each other the following day, and said we'll talk later. The last word she said to me that night is that, all right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. For her part, there's been nothing publicly from Berger since the first Facebook post. We again tried reaching out to her without success. Mike, Andrea?
All right, thank you, Kelly. Wrigley indicated there wasn't enough damage to the vehicles to warrant police involvement. Current law states it needs to exceed $1,000. The amount will be increasing to $4,000 in the coming days in North Dakota.
The Castleton Veterinary Service is on the hunt for a dog that ran away this morning. Micah is a 3-year-old yellow lab that was on his way into the vet to be neutered. That's when he escaped his handler and took off. The vet says that he's microchipped and is on a leash. They say if you do see him, do not chase him. Instead, approach him slowly with some food.
He is a big, strong guy, and he was able to pull the leash out of her hand and try to go on an adventure in lieu of being neutered.
If you've seen Micah, you are urged to call Castleton Vet Services. Let them know where you saw the dog.
There are still a few days to comment on the city's proposed 2020 budget, which means there's still time for taxpayers to contact city commissioners about items of interest. One of those proposals that didn't make the budget is a downtown rapid response team for the fire department. Fire Chief Steve Dirksen says rolling out fire trucks and ambulances for every call is expensive, and a rapid response team would be faster. And research says over time, the move would save the city money. City commissioners have until this Friday, August 2nd, to review and comment on the proposed budget. A public hearing is scheduled for September 9th.
New laws hit Minnesota streets in 2 days. One of the high-profile changes involves your cell phone. You'll no longer be able to hold your phone while driving. Another involves getting out of the left lane if you're going too slow.
And there are other changes the Minnesotans have never seen before. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer joins us in the studio now to fill us in. Melanie?
Andrea, Mike, we've been telling you for weeks about the hands-free law that goes into effect on Thursday. But there's also a new law that is creating harsher penalties when it comes to one form of sexual assault. Groping someone's clothed bottom sexually without their consent is now a crime punishable by up to a year in jail. Before, there was an exemption when many lawmakers thought criminal penalties were too severe. You'll also be seeing a new law that was created around what's being called the vaping epidemic. Starting Thursday, if you use e-cigarettes, you have to follow the same guidelines as smoking tobacco in places like restaurants, bars, and most indoor workplaces and public places. Lastly, there's a new law that is aiming to protect senior citizens and vulnerable adults from abuse. The Granny Cams law allows residents of assisted living homes and their families to install hidden cameras for 2 weeks before having to notify the facility where their family member is staying. Andrea?
Melanie, thank you. These laws are just a handful of some major changes coming to Minnesota in just a couple of days. For a full list, head to our website, valleynewslive.com.
The duo who found the Triceratops skull in the Badlands have been the talk of the state.
Though that fossil was removed last week, the site remains very active. Valley News Team's Julie Martin joined in on a dig today and has more.
Over 65 million years ago, thousands of dinosaurs were roaming this remote area in southwest North Dakota. Today, one of those fantastic creatures is being uncovered and is making worldwide news. This Badlands Canyon has been very good to Michael Chelland.
It's basically my giant sandbox, and within it, dinosaur bones.
Skull X and Alice are amazingly well-preserved Triceratops skulls. The discovery of these two pieces of prehistoric history have gone viral.
Not only is the partial skull there, but we found the Atlas axis complex, which attaches to the back of the ball joint of the skull itself, and then a couple of ribs and a couple of vertebrae.
Chelland has been working at this site for a couple of weeks, and today he had some help.
It's kind of cool because not very many people get to come out here, you know, and nobody really knows about it. And then being one of the few that actually gets to come out, it's kind of surreal, I guess you could say.
The discovery of this Triceratops skull was significant, but there's potential for many more exciting discoveries in these hills.
Those are Triceratops teeth of Skull X all the way throughout here.
Skull X and Alice have been all over the internet and social media, but seeing something this spectacular in person is something special.
I didn't think I'd ever get the chance to come see it, you know, maybe see it in a museum or something. So it's something you don't get to come look at in person before it's in a museum or in a cast.
Chelland plans to continue digging into the side of the canyon until August. He then returns to his full-time job, teaching biology at Mayville State University. Skull X will be removed from its final resting place in the next couple of weeks. But as for now, people are out here just digging it.
The Triceratops skull was named Alice after the owner of the land where it was found.
It's a photo that speaks for itself, and by now you've probably seen it. 4 boys at the North Dakota State Fair in Minot holding up a wheelchair so the woman can see Weezer on stage. We caught up with some of them today who were involved. They told us it all started with a simple idea from Lex Smith. He asked the woman if they could hold her during a good song. She said it would be awesome. We're told that Lex not only got his friend group to lift her up for the song, he put her on his shoulder in another song and made sure to stand by her so she would have someone to dance with.
Awesome.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Oh, it was a pretty chilly start to our day, but a beautiful sunset. A few clouds out to the west building in, but we remain dry and quiet as we head into the overnight hours here in the FM area. Here's a live look from our Luther family Ford camera out there at I-29 and 32nd Avenue. Very quiet. There's those clouds that we saw. 66 out at Hector. Wind from the southeast is blowing at 7. miles per hour. It is 68 in Valley City, 63 for Wahpeton. Where you see the greens here, we have some 50s showing up on the map. 60 in Thief River Falls, 55 in Roseau and Bemidji. You have 57 degrees. In our neck of the woods, we have a sprinkle working its way across the South Dakota border into southern Minnesota, and some very strong thunderstorms in eastern Montana that are slowly pushing their way south and east as we head into the evening. Those are a long way off and will not impact us this evening and overnight. As we look at the nation, here's our cold front that brought the big cool down and those 30s for morning temperatures across portions of central Minnesota. Keeping our eyes on the Pacific, we do have a hurricane that is working its way in the general direction of the Hawaiian Islands. This is Eric, a Category 4 hurricane at this time, but the forecast does call for Eric to decrease in intensity and stay just south of the island chain, although there will be impacts with the high waters. And following up Eric is Hurricane Flossie, a Category 1 storm. Here's a look at your forecast. Quiet conditions overnight. We could see an increase in clouds in our western and southern counties as we go towards daybreak, and temperatures won't be nearly as cold as they were this morning. Gone are the 30s. Most of us start our day in the 50s. As we go through the midday hour, those clouds slowly shift east and dissipate. It's going to be a perfect afternoon for a lunchtime walk. And then as we go through the afternoon, the wind picks up 15 to 25 miles per hour. It'll be from the south. We'll have spotty clouds and temperatures that will be warming to seasonable conditions for this time of the year. It looks quiet for most. We cannot rule out an isolated thunder shower as we go into the evening and nighttime hours. So your forecast, 56 to start the morning. We'll have those morning clouds around. The wind picks up in the afternoon, 15 to 25 miles per hour from the south. And expect temperatures to rise into the low 80s here in Fargo. We'll see the best chance for 80s from the Red River and points to the west. And in Lakes Country and northwest Minnesota, a lot of mid and upper 70s. A beautiful shot here by Tiffany Qualley. This one from the Fargo area of those sunflowers out there. A colorful scene. Thanks for taking the time, Tiffany, to upload your photo. On Thursday, 86 hot degrees. It looks dry. We stay warm on Friday as well, but we'll introduce a slight chance for a thunder shower or two. A slight chance on Saturday as well. Sunday night, wow, the weekend looks warm. Still a spotty thunderstorm chance, especially into Monday morning when we really cool off with another early week cool front moving through.
Not a bad forecast.
Yeah, we're rolling into those dog days of August, so it's got to warm up, right?
Yeah, these temperatures have a little bite to them, Mike.
Yeah. Thank you.
You bet.
Later on